The 2014 Peugeot Quartz Concept. Peugeot is gearing up for a hectic 2014 Paris Motor Show the only way it knows how. Weeks after announcing that it would display a reimagined version of the Exalt Concept in Paris, the French automaker followed that up by releasing details surrounding its other Paris-bound prototype, the Quartz Concept. Unlike the Exalt Concept sedan, the automaker developed the Quartz Concept to serve as a preview of its SUV lineup. That's basically the purpose of the Quartz Concept, although it would be unfair to dismiss it as nothing more than a showcase concept of future models. On its own, this coupe crossover has a lot going for it, including an aggressive body that's highlighted by not one, but two rear spoilers. It would be interesting to see how Peugeot approaches the Quartz Concept in the future. We all know how it's important for the French brand to finally stake a claim to the ever-growing coupe crossover market in the UK and the world. Click past the jump to read more about the 2014 Peugeot Quartz Concept. Exterior. It has so many body lines that it's hard to figure out the exact shape Peugeot is going for. The Quartz Concept looks every bit the part of a prototype, which is to say that any future crossover based on this model will look dramatically different. But that's okay because Peugeot has made it clear that the Quartz is its vision for a next-generation crossover. It's a dynamic concept in a lot of ways. It has so many body lines that it's hard to figure out the exact shape Peugeot is going for. But the French automaker likely intended it that way to showcase the Quartz as a well-chiseled coupe crossover, as an aggressive machine ready for the future. The front section is distinguished by a longer than usual hood that has louvers on each side to improve the airflow to and from the engine. The massive Lamborghini-like air intakes on both ends of the lower, front bumper also gives that sports car vibe, similar to the way the angular headlights create a nice depth to the front-end appearance of the concept. That's a pretty cool design I wouldn't mind seeing in a future Renault crossover. On the side, you'll find electronically retractable steps that I presume will have no future in any production model but is still cool enough to justify making it onto the Quartz Concept. Another unique attribute of the Quartz Concept is the low-slung roof, which apparently is made of glass and molds into a pair of spoilers at the back. That's a pretty cool design I wouldn't mind seeing in a future Renault crossover. Rounding out the Quartz exterior look is a set of massive 23-inch alloy wheels covered by composite flaps. That helps improve aerodynamic flow and cooling for the brakes. Exterior dimensions. Interior. That being said, Peugeot did use a lot of black leather, specifically on the sides and roof of the cabin. As dynamic as the Quartz Concept's exterior is, the cabin is a little more subdued, supposedly imbibed with an earthy dun characterized by the use of basalt rock texture and digitally woven textile from recycled plastic bottles. In other words, it's weird. But I do get the 2+2 seat configuration given the relative lack of space in the cabin and Peugeot's decision to extend the center console all the way to the back. That being said, Peugeot did use a lot of black leather, specifically on the sides and roof of the cabin. There's also the presence of the more unique tawny leather on the seat cushions and seat backs that Peugeot made from old clothes and furniture. The competition-style steering wheel is nice and functional, thanks to the bevy of controls attached to it. Peugeot is also using the Quartz Concept to tout its new iCockpit, which supposedly creates a cocoon-like environment for the driver, allowing for a more personalized driving experience. The competition-style steering wheel is nice and functional, thanks to the bevy of controls attached to it. Also included is a head-up display that shows additional information needed to make the most of the Quartz driving experience. Drivetrain. The Peugeot Quartz Concept is powered by a hybrid system that features a 1.6-liter, turbocharged, 4-cylinder engine that produces 270 horsepower and 243 pound-feet of torque. That's combined with two electric motors, each producing 115 horsepower. Altogether, the engine is capable of unleashing 500 horsepower. Peugeot released no performance numbers, but you can make a case for the Quartz covering the 0 to 60 mph sprint in under 5 seconds to go with a top speed in excess of 160 miles per hour. Drivetrain specifications. Prices. This model isn't going to get a price anytime soon. But if Peugeot did bring out a production model of the Quartz Concept, we're estimating that it will cost somewhere around $40,000. Competition. Renault Captur Concept. This isn't so much a competing SUV as it is a potential blueprint for Peugeot to follow. We all know that the Captur is already sold by Renault, but at one point in time, it was also a concept. Heck, it was as forward-thinking of a concept back in 2011 as the Quartz is now. More importantly, the similarities are uncanny. The Captur concept also featured an evocative body style that created a rugged and aggressive look. The massive wheels were also a part of the Captur concept's presentation, as were the gullwing doors that did not make it into the production version. Inside, the Captur concept was as out of the box as you can get. It had an orange theme that was highlighted by fluorescent touches. Oh, and let's not forget about those fiber ropes. The Quartz does take a massive leap in performance compared to the Captur concept. In fact, the latter only came with a 1.6-liter Energy DCI twin-turbo engine that produced a grand total of 160 horsepower and 280 pound-feet of torque, well short of the Quartz's 500 horsepower capabilities. Conclusion. I've learned to manage my expectations with concepts like this one. On the one hand, I appreciate their purpose of drawing attention through shock value, as is often the case. On the other hand, those polarizing feelings need to be managed carefully to avoid future letdowns. That's the approach I'm taking with the Quartz concept. It's going to catch your eye in more ways than one, but you have to understand that it's not really about the concept itself as it is the technology it has. Those are the things that will eventually translate into a possible production model. Just ask those fiber ropes on the Captur concept. Love it has a noticeable sports car attitude. Massive wheels enhance the sinister exterior appearance. Plenty of power derived from its hybrid system. Leave it still a concept. Interior looks cramped. How much of its design and technology will make its way into a possible production model?
If you liked this video, please share your thoughts in the comments below and don't forget to hit the subscribe button.